Hello everybody, I'm Interface, and in today's video, I want to go over a team I made with a little bit of help from LSU Fran. He gave me, I kind of just talked to them, and they gave me a little bit of input here and there. And yeah, but the team revolves around the newly added Loomian Harvesect, which if you don't know how to get, it's just a random encounter in the unfair. There you go get it. And yeah, so I'm just going to jump right into the team. So obviously, the star of the team is Harvesect. And by star, I just mean it's the Loomian I built around. Personality-wise, I went very brawny, clumsy, sluggish. I feel like the only way to run this right now is just straight offensive. Because, like, while its typing is pretty good defensively, like, it resists a lot of stuff, you can't really use it defensively because it lacks sustain, or, like, good sustain. Because of its ability constantly ticking away at its health, and its only means of recovery being parasitize. Item of choice, I went heavy armor just to up the melee bulk to better check things like Borak. I could have done health amulet, but the quad resist to dark is kind of just too good to, it's too good. I want to swap in on slapdown, so I don't want to run the health amulet on this thing. It just seems like a wasted slot. Moveset of choice, I went dual stab, driving force, and bulk up. I don't know how much I'll be clicking bulk up on the level with you. But the dual stab is there because, well, yeah. And then driving force can hit swap-ins. So, yeah, it'll force them out. So, that's kind of good. TP-wise, 48 speed, outspeeds slow Cephalops. Cephalops that don't run speed, which is the vast majority of them. HP wise, I did 196 because that makes it odd. At level 100, which is going to be, that's the levels I'll be doing the battles at for this team. I'm experimenting to see how it affects, like how I feel with the energy being a lot higher. And then the leftovers went into melee defense. Just, well, that's a nice defense stat. So yeah, that's what he's here for. He's kind of just like a bulky bruiser. He dishes out damage and can take the physical abuse at least. Up next, we have our Terrafly here. Brawny, very clumsy, nimble. I did Brawny Nimble because I want to outspeed some of the faster walls, just so they can't heal on me or anything. Toxic Essence to bump up that Baneful Bash I've got. Ambush is the ability of choice because you can force out Venilin a lot, which is pretty darn common. I'm running Wing Slap at the moment. I may just go back to Provoke. Wing Slap is just here because people may be trying to run Harvesect right now because new toy. And I just want to do a lot of damage to it. Because otherwise it resists these two moves. Otherwise I'd be running Provoke here. And then Poison Barbs because, well, yeah, you could force in Venilin more often if you put up Poison Barbs. So, like, yeah, it just makes sense. TP-wise, I went 148 speed. This outspeeds, the higher end of speed thresholds defensive Infernix runs. So if I catch it on a swap, I can hit it again. Energy-wise, I did 60 energy. What this does is it allows me to do a Barbs and a Provoke if I decide to run it, or just 2 sets of Barbs, and 6 Parasitizes, aka just 6 attacks. And then 200 attack because, well, offensive, and then 92 HP is the leftover, which also just so happens to make my HP odd, which is good because I'm weak to Icicle Trap. So yeah, I'm just trying to run, like, most offensive teams should be running a Terrafly right now. So that's why I'm running it. Iguana is the next member of the team. It's going to be our ranged wall here. Frail, very clever, sluggish with the heavy shield. We are going to be taking range attacks. So there you go. The ability of choice is Prismatic because light immunity is cool. Can be immune to things like Radiant Forecaster, Flash, and Flee. Moveset of choice, Thunderstrike to catch things like Valkyrie. Flash and Flee for pivoting, Tase for slowing down faster threats, and Rejuvenate for sustain. TP-wise, I did 20 speed. It outspeeds min speed Blowtox. So if you're like they're really defensive, we'll outspeed that. And then I believe Ursul's run a little bit of speed, and this speed creeps that. Energy-wise, this allows me to get 5 pivots or Thunderstrikes, plus a Tase, plus a Rejuvenate at level 100. This is all assuming, this is all with the heavy shield, by the way. And then, of course, the rest of the TPs are all in bulk, 200, 200 in range side, and then 24 is left over for the melee side. So up next, we have our Pigo. I'm going to be real. I'm running this because I don't want to run Luminami. I know Luminami is extremely good, but like every team runs Luminami. Let's have a little bit of spice in the team. And so our Pigo's here is going to be she's going to be a bulky water here. Very robust, smart. I'm considering swapping this out with robust, nimble, but I'm giving this a go just because. Energy orb because I got a low energy stat, and yeah. Ability of choice is quick recovery. If we end up getting status, we can swap out, and it's no longer going to be the case. Tsunami, Thunderstrike, Frostbeam, Rejuvenate is the moveset of choice. Rejuvenate's obvious. There's Sustain. Stab. This hits Bugs and Nevermare. This hits like Valkyrie and stuff, so. And other water types. TP-wise, I only have 8 energy. This allows me to use 3 Rejuvenates and 5 Tsunamis, as well as some other combination of but I just don't feel like getting into it. The 60 speed outspeeds max speed nimble Valkyrie just in case. 108 range attack, 2 shots, 80 range defense very brawny Himbers with Tsunami guaranteed. And then the rest is just bulk. Specifically melee bulk, so that's why the defense is higher than the HP here. So yeah, bulky water with a good speed tier. I mean, although I'm not abusing it that much, I'm gonna be real. Up next, we have Vocaloid. This is going to be more of our cleaner. So yeah. Plant Essence can 2-shot a Ventation after a Brawn boost with Coconut Bomb. Brawny Nimble. I'm running Nimble because I also want to outspeed base 100s. That may be running Speed. So things like Brawny Nimble Garlash or Brawny Nimble Vesperatu. Combustible is the ability of choice because everything else kind of sucks. Savage Greed, Coconut Bomb, Earthquake, Brawn boost. The moveset of choices hits Ventation. Earthquake hits Venolin. I mean, Venolin's not that relevant. I'm at Iguana. And also hits Oxydrake and Tyrex. I mean, Coconut Bomb also hits Tyrex. But anyway, TP-wise, 200, 200 on the offense. Just max speed, max damage, you know. Energy-wise, I can get 8 Savage Greeds or 7 Greeds and 2 Brawn boosts. And then HP is the remainder. So just a basic cleaner here. Tyrex is here. Metals. The reason I put Tyrex here is because 1, Earth type is pretty good, and 2, Metal types synergize pretty well with Harvesect. Harvesect being immune to Brawler and resisting Earth, and Tyrex again just provides with the Metal and Earth type coverage. Brawny Nimble here, I don't really care too much about like a lot of bulk here. I'm running the Nimble again to outspeed like the faster tanks like Infernix and Blowtox. Health Amulet for, keeping this thing healthy, and yeah. Terrifying is the ability of choice. We don't have much to abuse Power Jaw right now. Earthquake, Steel Crusher, just basic stabs. Dodge and Power Focus. Power Focus can let us set up if they don't attack this. Really, there's not much else for Tyrex to run, so these are the moves of choice. TP-wise, 144 speed creeps, things speed creeping, higher defensive Infernix speeds, so there you go. 12 energy lets me get off a dodge and 8 attacks, or 7 attacks and 2 setup moves and 7 attacks. And then, a 200 attack is obvious, and 144 HP is left over. And then Cephalops is the final member. I kind of wanted to double up on the bulky waters, but this also acts as a mind resist. Here smart because, well, I want damage. And heavy shackles because we're going to be running barter here. Bloodsucker boosts the soul drain. We're not going to be running hypnotize here, so no point in the secret ability. Tsunami, stab. And then icicle trap. Pressures things that resist this, like the bugs. And then barter, because shackles can slow things down for Terrafly, Tyrex. It's just good. It's just good to have with a slower team. Training wise, 48 energy lets me get off of barter and icicle traps and 6 tsunamis. The bulk lets me live a very nimble Garbanta's battering ram and a very smart Zulong Thunderstrike or a very nimble Electric Essence Zulong Thunderstrike. So there you go. And yeah, and then damage. So there you go. So the team overall, it's pretty slow, so faster teams could, threaten it a little bit. But overall, I kind of like the team. I'm pretty happy with it. There's one big issue, and that's Vocaloid. If I come across one, my only hope is if possibly paralyzing it or dealing with it with Tyrex, assuming I don't, catch a super effective move on a swap. So yeah, those are pretty much my only ways of dealing with it. Or if Terrafly can knock it out somehow, I don't know. I'd have to I have to tase it if I want Terrafly to do anything to it. But yeah, other than the Vocaloid, I should be able to deal with mostly everything else. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the team with comments. Would you use it? I do want to note that I didn't build this with tournaments in mind. I'm just kind of casually going about this now. I want to have fun with my battles, so if I'm trying to sweat making a perfect tournament team, those teams get very limited very quickly. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, to which if you did, I'd appreciate if you left a like on the video. It lets me know and also helps out the channel through the algorithm. Also, if you're excited for more content from me, make sure you're subscribed and have notification bell turned on so that you don't miss the uploads. But with that, yeah, I'm gonna head out of here. Hopefully y'all have a good day, morning, afternoon, night, evening, whatever. See ya.